Once again, I'm a recovered alcoholic. My name is Pat Rogan.
Pat Rogan.
And thanks to the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous outlined in our big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, which is the program of AA, I have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. For that, I'll be forever grateful. AA didn't just save my life, but it gave me a new life, and a new life worth living. I absolutely enjoy my life today. As you know, because I was missing the last 2 weeks here. You know, when I came into AA, I remember guys, all the old timers were telling me, here you go, telling me, Pat, the most important thing in your life is Alcoholics Anonymous. And I said, oh no. I said, no, I got 2 kids. You must not have any kids. My kids are the most important thing in my life. As a matter of fact, my job might be the most important thing in my life because I can't feed my kids without my job. As a matter of fact, my house might be the most important thing in my life because without a house, my kids don't have a roof over their head. So I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I got stuff that's more important than this. You know. And one of the old timers pulled me aside and he asked me, he said, hey Pat, what the hell are you doing here? And I said, well, I lost my kids, I lost my house, I'm going through a divorce, and if I don't get sober, I'm going to lose my job. And they said, so what's the most important thing in your life, Pat? Well, my kids, and my house, and my job. I just didn't get it at first. And this is the most important thing in my life. This program is the most important thing in my life. This program introduced me to a solution to my alcoholism and my drug addiction. It was killing me. And so I got called out by Izzy on Wednesday. I was speaking over at Sunshine, and Izzy came out and said, Pat, I thought you said that Alcoholics Anonymous was the most important thing in your life. Where were you Tuesday? I said, well, it was the most important thing in my life, and then the Panthers got into playoffs.
We were working the steps.
But this is what this program has given me. I mean, I'm successful. I have a successful career because of Alcoholics Anonymous, and so I can afford to have season tickets at the Panthers. You know, I can go anywhere liquor is served without being threatened, so I can be okay being in the arena where they're serving beer and every alcoholic beverage you could freaking imagine. And so I've been so blessed by this program. I can enjoy my life today, and my wife and I can sit there and just have a blast for 3 hours watching a Panther game. And it just these incredible gifts that I get because I have this relationship with you and this power that has solved my problem. And so we're kind of on the second step, and I'll tell you, I grabbed this pamphlet. I don't know what made me think of it, you know, and I think it's hilarious. These are the Is AA for You? The 12 questions for Alcoholics Anonymous, right? Have you ever decided to stop drinking for a week or so but only made it a couple days? Right? Do you wish people would mind their own business about your drinking, right? And stop telling you what to do? Have you ever switched from one drink to another and hoped you could keep from getting drunk? Have you had a drink upon awakening? Do you envy people who can drink without getting in trouble? Have you had a problem connected with drinking during the past year? Have you had problems connected to your drinking? Has your drinking caused trouble at home? Not anymore. You ever try to get extra drinks at the party? You tell yourself you can stop drinking anytime you want, even though you keep getting drunk. Have you missed days at work or school because of drinking? Do you have blackouts? You ever felt that your life would be better if you didn't drink? Alcoholics Anonymous asked us 2 questions. 2. I would laugh at those. Because I was willing to trade all that stuff. I was willing to trade family and possessions and careers and freedom for a drink. That's how important a drink was to me. That I couldn't live without that, but I could live without all that other stuff. There are 2 questions on page 44. If when you honestly want to stop drinking, you find you can't, and once you start, you find you can't control the amount you take, then you're suffering from a problem that only a spiritual experience can conquer, and you're probably an alcoholic. Right? Probably, because I'm not allowed to say you are. I'm only allowed to say I am. But if you can't stay stopped because of this obsession of the mind, and you can't control the amount you take because of this physical craving that develops once you put a substance in your body, then you're an alcoholic. Have a seat. All this other stuff is just consequences, of my drinking. They're not why I can't stay stopped or why I can't control it. That was vital information to me. Vital information to me. I suffered for 3 months in this program not knowing what an alcoholic was. I thought if I could just get my life back together, everything would be fine. So knowing the problem, describing my life in the doctor's opinion, we talked about, when was I here last? 8 weeks ago? Describing my life, right? Restless, irritable, and discontent, ease and comfort, the run, I'm so sorry, make it about 3 days, right? Never again, I'm done, Your Honor, that's the last time you'll ever see me. Yeah. Honey, unpack, I'm done. Make it till Wednesday, right? Because I'm so freaking restless, irritable, and discontent. I am tormented. I'm an emotional cripple. I don't know how to live life without a drink. I can't live life without a drink. I can't stand me sober. That's the first thing I learned when I came into Alcoholics Anonymous. What it feels like to be sober. I forgot. Because for 20 years I was medicated. I forgot what those first 16 years were like. They were tortured. And then I found ease and comfort for 20 years. The ease and comfort stopped working or I wouldn't be here. Because I want to tell you something. If it still fixed that internal condition, I'd still be doing it. I would be out there doing it. I was willing to trade my life for that ease and comfort. I always like this shit. Sandy Beach, you say, you know what happens when you stop drinking? You're freaking sober. Right? You know what? Alcohol wasn't my problem. Alcohol was my solution. I identified with Bill Wilson. I'm not jumping out of a building. I'm going back to the bar. Get with the group conscience. We'll figure out what to do. And they always had an answer. Took about 15 beers, but they had an answer. Some of it wasn't real good. Some of it landed me in jail. If that be the case, if that be the case, then you're suffering from an illness that only a spiritual experience can conquer. Which means our solution is a spiritual solution. And working with others, it talks when we're working with the newcomer, stress the spiritual feature freely. It doesn't say hide the fact that God's the answer. If you have another answer, our hats are off to you, this program says. Stress the spiritual feature freely. Tell them what happened to you. Tell them how you were able to recover. And we talk about, and I love, congratulations to all the celebrants. I'm sorry I didn't say that sooner. My God, that's incredible how you feel, all you hear about is the power that's in these rooms, right? The power of this fellowship coupled with the power of that vital spiritual experience. Charlie used to say vital. Charlie Parmalee is my idol. Charlie Parmalee is like a vital spiritual experience. Vital like a heartbeat, like a pulse, vital spiritual experience. One here to support us and one here to change us. But thank God for the fellowship of AA. Thank God that you guys put your arms around me and shuffled my ass to Denny's every freaking night. Stuffed me full of Grand Slams and French Slams and my eggs over Miami or whatever the hell they were called. I thought that this is my life now, meetings and freaking Denny's, But you guys would take me there and bloat me full of food and ice cream sundaes and then send my ass home. I was too full to drink. But you supported me. The people that normally would not mix, Thomas and I were talking about that before the meeting. The people that normally would not mix, this guy, love this guy with a passion, man. We would not mix out there. Normally would not mix, man. I think you guys mentioned it, race, creed, religion, color, none of that matters in here. What binds us is our common solution, our common problem and our common solution. That's what binds us. Our common suffering is what brings us together. That's where we identify. You get me, I get you. That's the gift. Our stories are our gift. Our stories are our power. That I did that happened to me. Yeah, I felt just like that. What did you do? What did you do? Well, let's go to Denny's. I was a little disappointed, by the way, that became my life. Funny how we have this euphoric recall, right? I used to have so much fun. And now I'm going to Denny's every freaking night. Completely forget that I just blew up my life and that's why I'm here. But I can remember the one good time that I had in the last year and then focus on that. I remember asking, is this all you guys do? Go to Denny's? No, we go to Ice Cream Thursday. Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the power of the fellowship. I still lean on the fellowship. I still lean on it. I love this fellowship. I don't know about it. I think you guys mentioned it. When you walk into this room, you feel the power in this room. No matter what's going on here, I love the noise and the laughter and the yelling before the meeting. That's my favorite part of AA. Walk into my home group on Monday nights, and they're just so loud you can't even talk to each other. And you know what? Half of those people's lives are falling apart. Well, they think they're falling apart. We know they're falling into place, but they think they're falling apart. But in that hour, none of that matters. None of that matters. They're like, and they're just having a good time for that hour. And all that stuff is waiting for them when they leave. But in that hour, in the power of that group, in that collective consciousness of that room, there's relief. No matter what's going on out there. It's like walking into a sanctuary, And we bring that power here. We bring that. Us collectively bring that power of God into this room. And I know most everybody feels it. Everybody. I don't care what's going on in my day. As soon as I walk into a room of AA, I get like the third drink. It's like that third drink. It's like that first hit. It's like when that oxy kicks. You might not know anything about that. But,
no.
That first hit. You know what I'm talking about. Where are my crackheads at? Love you guys. You're my favorites. Love sponsoring you. You guys get obsession and compulsion, Yeah, let's move on. You don't have to spend much time on the doctor's opinion with crackheads. Obsession is another story. I always like to tell the story of, I go to my son's church up at South Point Community Church up in Jacksonville, and I visited my son, and a couple years ago I was up there on the anniversary night, and Tony Baselli and Mark Rumel were founders of the church, two Jacksonville Jaguar football players. And they asked Tony Baselli what was the most important part of you opening up, being part of founding this church. And he said, meeting Mark Rumel. He said, I don't know what my life would be like today if I hadn't met Mark. He said, Mark and I have such a relationship that Mark can just look at me and know something's wrong, And he'll look, he said, okay, what's up? Let's go talk. And I don't have to say a word. He said, if I need somebody, I can call Tony or Mark in the middle of the night, and Mark will pick up that phone and meet me wherever I need to meet him to talk about whatever's going on in my life. And they asked Mark the same question. He said the same thing. Meeting Tony, the bond that Tony and I have is incredible. He said, anything I need, Tony's there for me. He said, no matter what time, day or night, that I need help, Tony's there for me. He knows me like a book. And I'm asking you to find your Tony Baselli, find your Mark Brumel, find that guy, that gal that has what you want, somebody that you can bond with, somebody you can call any time of the night, and they'll be there for you. Your sponsor's not always going to pick up the phone. I had a sponsor, and I had Billy G. Billy G was my guy. Billy G was God. Billy had 2 years. Right? I couldn't believe somebody had 2 years. You other guys with the 30s were lying. No way you get 30. I don't know. I didn't want to. You were like gods. You couldn't go near you guys. But the 2-year guy was approachable. The 1 year, my sponsor had one. One he got in prison. I could do that. But Billy had 2 years. And Billy was chasing guys, like Garrett M., like Ben Troxel, like Mike L, like, oh my God, I'm trying to think back to the Zeke, Pastor Connie, they were chasing those guys. And I was chasing Billy right with him, chasing those guys. Because those guys had what Billy wanted, and I wanted what Billy had, and so I chased Billy to get what those guys had. And you will become who you hang out with. You will become who you chase. You hang out with the predators, you're going to become a predator. That's what will happen. You hang out with the people that are using this program to make money, that's who you'll be. If you come in here and you're going to do half measures, hang out with those guys that do half, you'll get half what this program has to offer. I don't believe that you get nothing, that half measures bill you nothing. I see people that take half measures. They're not drinking, but they don't have what this program promises. This program promises freedom from bondage of self. They're still walking around with a freaking wrinkled forehead, hanging in there. How you doing? Hanging in there. You okay? Yeah, I'm hanging in there. I don't want to be hanging in there. I want to be free. This program gets you free if you follow some specific, precise, clear-cut, exact directions. If you do what's outlined in this program. By the way, if you're new, this is the program. Welcome to the fellowship, but this is the program. And we're here to support you. But we're not enough. We're not enough. The fellowship isn't enough. I shared with you guys the first week I was here. I was 90 days sober, falling apart in AA. Having a fellowship surrounding me that was holding me together. But I was falling apart in AA. I was suicidal at 90 days sober. I can't live with the way I feel for one more freaking second. What's the difference between that and that hotel room I was in right before I came in here? I can't live with myself for one more second and I can't stop drinking. Well, I can't live with myself for one more second here and I can't drink. Now what? What solution do I have now? Well, there's one other option. I'm suffering from an illness that only a spiritual experience will conquer. There's one of the paragraph in More About Alcoholism. I wonder if I can find it real quick. It's one of my favorites. And I know I'm running out of time, but we'll do more step 2 next week. Unless the Panthers are playing. It's whether a person can quit on a non-spiritual basis depends on to the extent that he has lost the power to choose. I probably don't need it. We assume, it says, that the reader wants to stop, right? So I'm assuming that everybody that's here wants to stop. And everybody here that has gotten to a point where they have lost the power of choice. The first fact in the book says, the tremendous fact is that we found a common solution. That's the good news this book carries. The power of the fellowship is real. But the great news that this book carries is that we found a common solution. And that common solution is a power greater than human power. We use the word God. I'm going to tell you right now, whatever you think that is, that's what I'm talking about. Right? That's the miracle of AA. We get to choose our own conception of God. To me, the miracle of AA happened with Ebby Thatcher arguing with Bill Wilson. The more he preached, the drunker Bill got. And finally, out of frustration, he just says, damn it, Bill, just believe in whatever the hell you want to believe in. And Bill said, I can do that. I can do that. Because if it's our idea, we're okay with it. But if somebody tells us how we have to believe, oh, hold on a second. Choose your own conception, Bill. No, he didn't say create one, by the way. He said choose. Creative intelligence, spirit of the universe, energy, the collective consciousness of this group for the moment. Okay? Choose your own conception of God. Because the fact is, I have lost the power of choice and drink. That's the second fact in the book. Should be the first fact, right? That I can't bring into my consciousness with sufficient force the pain and suffering. It says in the book a week or a month ago, I'm telling you, I couldn't remember the pain and suffering of this morning or the night before. With sufficient force. I am without defense against the first drink. I'm convinced that I can't safely drink. I have a 20-year history that says you put a drink in yourself, you're drunk. You're on a run. There was evidence. There was 20 years of evidence. I don't even know why anybody would want a controlled drink. I've never been there. Somebody's going to have to explain that to me, why someone would drink 3 drinks. I have no idea. You know, my brother says shit like I'm starting to feel it. I go, yeah, that was the point. You know, I'm going to puke. Start over. You know? Sometimes you have to do that. You know. Where my pukers at? That's the real alky, right? You're the real alky. Go in the bathroom, blah, come back out, give me another one. You know? Yeah, that's the real deal right there. You know? So I've been there where I have promised a judge that I would never touch another drop if he let me go. You know? My first trip to Allegheny County Jail in Pittsburgh in my Travolta outfit was at 125 pounds. You know, I look like a date, you know. And I've never been so scared in my life. And I'm telling you, the next morning I'm in front of that judge. I've got tears coming down my face. Your Honor, please, I beg of you, on my mother, you will never, ever see me in this position again. Never. I was framed, by the way, for that. Set up. I was drunk before I got home. You guys get that. You guys get that, right? Because if you had my problems, right? If you had a court case coming up and you couldn't afford an attorney and your car was an impound and you're walking from downtown Pittsburgh 30 miles home and you're not at work and you're going to get fired, you'd need a drink too. Right? And the group conscious agreed. Right? Completely forgot what I had just promised that judge in favor of relief. I'm an emotional cripple without booze. I'm an emotional cripple. There's the... We're out of time, huh? Real quick. This is where it gets confusing for the young people to come in, right? Because you don't have to lose everything. Most of the young people that come in haven't been married, haven't had a career, right? Haven't been to jail. Well, some of you have. A lot of you have been to treatment, right? And there's a difference between addiction and dependence, right? There's a difference there. Everybody that does anything long enough gets dependent on it. Right? You do oxys long enough, you're going to need detox. You drink long enough, you're going to need detox. You use IV, you're going to need a detox. You crackheads, I don't know. Stop smoking that shit. But here's the deal. The dependent will go to treatment and spend $50,000 for 3 months and come out and say, I'm never doing that shit again. That's done, man. I learned my lesson. Don't do oxys. Yeah. The addict will be planning their next high while they're in there. Right? They will have the Uber driver drop them off at their dealer after spending $50,000 in treatment. That's the difference. My buddy Jimmy D, right? We're sitting there at this biker bar in Margate drinking. I don't know why we were there. Neither one of us had a bike, but... You ever have a night where you just want to get your ass kicked or kick somebody's ass, you just wanted some confrontation? Well, you go to the biker bar, you know? We're sitting there, and Jimmy and I ran for years. We ran in Pittsburgh. We both moved down here. I moved down first. He moved down later. We ran down here for years. Jimmy's wife called him and said, if you don't come home now, I'm getting a divorce. Jimmy went home. Yeah. Sissy. You know? Who wears the pants in that house? You know? Jimmy's still married 40 years later. 3 beautiful kids. I guarantee you Jimmy shook, rattled, and rolled when he got home for a week. You know, I know he detoxed. I'm on my 3rd marriage. Nobody tells me what to do. There's the difference. There's the difference. Given sufficient reason, Jimmy went home. Given sufficient reason, jail, divorce, ill health, what's it tell us? The hard drinker stops. The dependent even stops, not the addict, not the real alcoholic, not the real alcoholic, whose very existence depends on that medication. My very existence. I need a substitute for that, and we'll talk more about that next week.